Yes. So, our Rotarian of the day is our friend Chris Norris, who has informed me that he would just like to take a photo today. So, he has passed his responsibility on to Mike Morgan to introduce our guests. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you, Rachel. You know, it's good to be back with you all. I've been here many times through the years, and a lot of old friends, and probably ought to emphasize the old, right, Lan? Norman, you know, some of us we've been around a while, but it's always good to be here, and I'm thrilled today to be here as the president of the About Face Women's Organization that you're going to hear about today. We have an organization we created 4 or 5 years ago. It took us a while to get going, but we created a 501c3 corporate organization so that we could do something for the women in Payne and Logan County that just wasn't being done. And we're going to give you a little update today on how it's gone and what our progress has been. And I'll introduce our director, but before I do that, I do want to emphasize that we do have a citizen board of directors, 11 members on our board, and we almost have a quorum here today. Rebecca Eastham, who you met, Jennifer Jalbert, and Lee Denny are all board members with us. And Jeremiah, we still claim him. He was a former board member, and he helped us get started in a lot of ways. And we appreciate what you did, Jeremiah. And a special shout out in the corner to Doug and to Laura. They have helped us with our accounting. And to say they have helped us is a bit of an understatement. We've needed them desperately through this growing process. And I want you both to know we all appreciate very, very much what you have done to help the women in Payne County. And of course, our director is someone that probably doesn't need any introduction. Dee Miller has been in Stillwater, she and Calvin, forever. And if you haven't met them, you just haven't been doing anything because they do a lot. And I don't want to embarrass Dee by saying too much about the things that she does, but I just want you all to know that what a privilege it's been for me to work with Dee. You know, I've known a lot of public servants, a lot of people that have a servant's heart, a lot of people that do things for others. But I don't think I've ever known anyone that had more goodness in her heart than Dee. Last summer I was out at the program house before we had residents and had my stepson Reese with me, and we'd been mowing the grass, and Dee was there, and I introduced him to her. And when we were done, we were driving back, and I said, Reese, I said, I don't know if there are angels on this earth, but if there are, you just met one. That's how I feel about Dee Miller, and it is my privilege to serve on her board and to introduce her to you today, to tell you about Face. Dee.
Goodness. Okay, so after that introduction, I really need to step it up a notch. So first of all, thank you all for having me. Let me give you, I hope I got this making noise. Smith?
All right, we're gonna have to undo you here.
Okay. That's my OSU ring that has worn out. It's 50 years old. So just to let you know, I am old.
I'm not the only old one in this crowd.
I'm old too.
Let's see if that
Oh
works.
my goodness.
Is that? I can't get it off of there. Is that going to work now?
How about if I just hold still? Will that be better?
There you go.
Okay.
I didn't have my glasses.
Oh my goodness. Here you go, Dee. It takes a lot. Here you go. Okay, the About Face Women's Program. We are actually in month 11, actually starting from the date that we started in April of last year. I've aged right at 10 years in these last 11 months. The ladies are awesome, though. Now, they have taken you on all kinds of turns, flips, and flops, but we're still hanging tough. So let's give you a little overview here. The About Face Women's Program, we just have women from Payne and Logan County. We actually handpicked these ladies from Eddie Worry and Mabel Bassett, so they were already in prison, meeting with wardens and case managers to help us select these people. along with the DA's office and defense attorneys who are trying to give us everybody. But the program is set up to help these ladies change their lifestyles, okay? If you don't know, ladies go to prison nonstop. They go to prison, they come home, they come back. It's just a circle for them. So this is a picture of the house. Those of you who've been around Stillwater like forever, it was called Early Autumns back in the day. This is our spot now. Front, back versions of the house. So we call it a secure residential group home. This is interest. The coolest thing about our program is that everything in our house except for our beds and our mattresses have been donated. Okay? So as you look at our entryway, our chairs came from the Zeta house before they tore it down. We have some of the chairs, the other armchairs came from the Logan County old DHS office before they remodeled it. I literally have moved about at least eight U-Hauls full of stuff. Put it in his buildings. I got good muscles, okay? Our couch, this is our gathering area, so the ladies get to hang out and watch TV in the evenings. Our kitchen, we have a gas stove and an electric stove in case we can't pay a bill somewhere or the other, we can still eat. Okay? All right.
It's funny because it's true.
It's true, okay? Dining room. Our table was made by, I still call him Coach Gardner. You all know him as Gary Gardner Custom Homes. But Coach Gardner coached my sons back in the day. And so I gave him a call and said, I'm doing this thing with these ladies and we need some place to eat. He made that table for us. We have a group classroom. So in our house, our treatment providers come to the house. Everybody has their own little office. So we do substance abuse, mental health, cognitive behavior, group therapy, parenting, and so that's done in this room. We have a study area so that they can learn how to write resumes. We have some that have worked on GEDs while they have been there. This is the way the house is set up. So it's a long hallway. So they're individual bedrooms. So they have a full-size bed. You can't give them a queen-size bed because that means they think they have company, and they can't. Okay? So we have a bedroom and a bathroom and a bedroom all the way down the hall. So two ladies share a bathroom. And we have a timer. It's not just your bathroom. So they get about 15, 20 minutes as a max, and we go ring the bell. Come out, it's somebody else's turn. We have a clothing closet in the building, and that is run by one of our who tries to keep up with it. It looks really nice this day. Some days it's kind of a disaster, but Miss Jennifer keeps up with that for us. All of our clothing and everything has been donated also. So when the ladies arrived, they came straight from prison, Payne County Jail. We got them court ordered, and they came to the house. They were wearing DOC clothes. So everybody's in oranges, combat boots, true OSU fans, okay? They came dressed to work. This is a group of our ladies. We got them on April 17th of last year. I spent the first 7 days with them. 24 hours a day, the first 7 days, to make sure we thought we knew what we were doing. But it was also to give me a chance to get to know them individually and for them to adjust. Again, they came straight from prison. So the least amount of time someone had been incarcerated was right at 11 months. That does not include their jail time. And we also had people who had already been in prison 3 years. The sentences that the women have range in age from 5 years to 20. Okay? We got excited because we got some sunflower seeds and we planted stuff everywhere. And that is our theme. So we want to change as the sun moves with the sunflowers. They learned how to work. So we had a little garden last year. We grew lots and lots of squash and a few peppers, some tomatoes. Reese Lane from the jail comes out and supervises us every now and then to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. He is a great encourager. The OSU Gardening Club brought us all kind of bushes and trees and things. I'm a city kid. I don't know what any of these things are. But they had sessions with the ladies to tell them how to water stuff and how to plant. It was a great activity. And we still have them. They're still living today. This is our first crop. Okay? It's a squash. They were excited. Most of them had never planted anything, more or less seen it grow. So that was a big moment for us. And you can see some of them are still in their pajamas because it get them up early. We've done team building activities with John Talley. This was a great experience for them. Some of them had never been around horses. So we spent 2 or 3 days going out with John where they learned how to groom the horse, got to ride, and we did group team building activities. They like to eat. Now, for ladies who've been incarcerated for a period of time, and also those that, were on substances, they didn't eat well. So in the first 90 days, seriously, they averaged gaining almost 25 pounds apiece. It was scary. I thought I was feeding my football team. They ate and they ate and they ate. So that was good for them. This is one of our cognitive behavior activities where they do group therapy. The Iowa tribe is an awesome partner for us. They do a lot with us with these ladies. This is Angie. Angie is our oldest participant. She is 46 years old, and she is just a sweetheart. She's the calm of the storm with the rest of them. This is Angela. Now, this is also bad. We have 4 people with the same name. We won't do that again either. So Angela became our first grandmother. Cool story about her, she had not had any relationship with her kids in almost 2 years. They would not speak to her because she was out using and doing all kinds of stuff. They didn't want to be bothered. When she got to this program, we actually started some of the family reunification things. I called their kids, I called their grandparents and parents. Y'all need to come up here and see them. They're a little bit different. So when Mr. Elijah was born, we let her take a pass for 12 hours to go to the hospital to see this grandbaby. Okay? She called herself Grandma Meanie. This is Amber. Miss Amber is our Miss Fix-It. Amber can fix anything, just anything. She takes stuff apart and, why'd you do that? But she's really good at fixing stuff. And this is our second grandma. So, what's cool about this picture, this is her son, Wade. The baby's name is Wade, too. The baby was born with 2 teeth. We pulled 15 teeth out of her, okay? So Lakeside Dentistry has been a blessing. All of her teeth were rotten. We're waiting on some dentures now. So, look at God work. Baby comes here with teeth and she doesn't have any. This is Ashley. Ashley is she calls herself Mini D. She likes to talk. She's in charge of everything. Busybody is what I call her. Ashley had been incarcerated for 3 calendar years. She's serving a 15-year sentence. She had not seen her son since she went to prison. We've started this reunification. His name is Peyton. Peyton just turned 15 last week. He's a big old rascal. Good kid. But her son went to DHS because she didn't have anyone else in her family who could take him when she was incarcerated. So her son wound up in state's custody. We have Katie. Katie's just busy too. She likes to cut trees down. She's cleared out the back portion of our property. This is Lily. Lily's a Logan County baby. Lily was 21 when we got her. She turned 22. Lily just was basically, her parents dropped her off in Oklahoma City when she was 12. She's out of Texas. So Lily kind of raised herself on the street. Good kid. Lily earned a driver's license while we had her. She'd never had driver's license. Now, this part's really scary because I had to teach her how to drive in my car. So we threatened her, I did. If there's one scratch, you won't get licensed, and I'm going to send you back. So she survived. This is Amber. Amber's our second grandma, the one with no teeth. But we figured out her driver's license had been suspended for 10 years, and it was done in error. After we talked to 400 people and been to the driver's license place 20 times, they got it straightened out, and she has driver's license now. This is the baby of the group. This is Mara. Mara's 21. Mara will be 22 on Wednesday. And Mara has earned her GED since we've had her. Ladies do our volunteer work right down the street at Our Daily Bread. So we get a phone call when they have too many things in the warehouse or they just need some extra hands, and we walk down the street and move things around for them. It's a great relationship. We also, too, when the SNAP benefits got deleted for a while, we went down there and got groceries, too. So Our Daily Bread is a great resource for those that are hungry. We do volunteer work. So we spent an afternoon with the Grand Lake staff passing out school supplies. They had to learn how to cook because they eat a lot still. We exercise every day. So I wake them up every morning at 6 a.m. with some music and exercise. Now they whine every day. We have to work off some of that stuff that we've eaten. So, I didn't gain some weight with them too. So I tell them I'm old, we get out. So this is our Planet Fitness, our version of it that we have in our garage. And again, all of this equipment too has been donated to us. The ladies are enrolled in a program at Meridian called the Underground Utility Finding. That's what I call it. They take the stick and put the flags down. For them, this has been a challenge. But to watch them grow from the day we started until now, you'll see some pictures a little bit later, has been amazing. They come home from school and they sit down at the table and you would think you had junior high and high school age kids. What does the blue wire mean? Where did the red wire go? They actually do homework together. Miss D, we need 3x5 cards. For what? We have to study this stuff. It's like, okay. They were able to be a part of a trade show where they got to share their skills. I was a little afraid. I didn't know what they would say, but they did fine. Okay. New skill. They're getting vehicles, so they have to learn how to wash a car and keep it clean. I love it. Extra chore for them. The USIC program is a blessing. For ladies who have a criminal history, limited education, we have spent 9 months in school at Meridian. There's a class that is set up specifically for them. They go to school every afternoon. This kind of chokes me up because nowhere else could they get this opportunity. And I'm very thankful for the relationship that USC has with Meridian, because this just doesn't exist. Lord, they're all driving. We have cars. I set them up some cones so they could park right. But they have vehicles now, and they're working part-time while they're in school. So they're earning some money before they leave from us. The About Face program is a phased program. So the full 5 phases, and where they are now is in phase 4. They have employment. They will continue their counseling. Right now we're working on budgeting and figuring out where they're going to live once they leave here. They will actually graduate somewhere around May 20th. They all need to be out of the house by the end of the month of May. See ya, bye, give them a hug, put them out. No. Actually, we're going to help them with referrals for their housing. So we have some monies budgeted to get some utilities turned on for them and the first month's rent. And so we will work on getting some basic things for them when they leave so they have a new start. We don't want them to stay at home in the same environment. So that is another thing that the company offers them, is to relocate. They got to stay in the state because I still have to keep my eyes on them for another year. But they're away from all of the things that got them in the situation that they are in. This is what it costs us to run our program. We have 7 full-time staff that are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we have people who cook breakfast and lunch, another group cooks dinner, and someone is there every single night with them. And then we have weekend staff. We run with the basics. And so in the first really 8 months until they got cars, we transported them to school. We picked them up from school. When they got home, everybody had a little chore to do dishes and laundry and those kinds of things. So we've been blessed to get a lot of our furniture and equipment donated. We had a cow or a beef, whatever it is you want to call it. We had one of those donated. So we've made do with what we've had. We've put it to the best of our abilities to do that. That's our budget. Okay, we've lost 3 of the ladies along the way, basically based on their choices. They didn't want to stay focused. And that's the thing that kind of breaks your heart, because the way the program's set up, if they don't finish, they go back to prison and finish those sentences. And so, you know, I've been by the jail when they've left, and I go by and still hug them. You know, I want them to be successful, but they have to make choices to change and to stick with it, and it's tough. If y'all don't know, I'm married to a preacher and a football coach, so that makes me do church and be mean, okay? I ain't doing both. So we do a little bit of both. But Philippians 3:13 says, "But one thing I do is forgetting what is behind and reaching forward to what is ahead." Right now, they're reaching forward. But you know, I've seen them be scared to succeed. And so we have whiteboards up everywhere. And that's one of the things that's on our board. Don't be afraid to succeed. And they will tell you, now you know I've never done. I know you haven't. But this is an opportunity for you to change and stay changed. So that's a big thing that we're working on now. This is what my crew looks like today. I took this picture this morning. Now, I gave Mara, the baby, a hard time. Why are you going to put on an OU shirt today? But anyway, that's them. So we have Ashley, Amber, Angie, Mara, and Angela. This would actually work for the ladies too. Okay. But
You are welcome to use that as much as
I
you
can
want,
use that
Dee.
too.
All right, anybody have any questions?
So, in the future, I've got 2 questions. In
Okay.
the future, how many more applicants will you have? I mean, I assume there's a large number of people that want to be involved in this. And then the second question, which I hope is easy, is there a faith-based component of this program?
Let me turn my cross back around. Yes. Yes. All of the girls have a Bible, and we do that every day. We read a scripture. They've actually been assigned things to read. We have 2 books. One of them is Are You a Positive Influence? That we use. They have assigned little studies. And we do some scripture stuff with them also. We've studied the characters of Ruth. We've studied the character of Deborah. We've even studied the character of Naomi. So they've learned what the old person did in the Bible, old lady as well as the young, and how they have listened to God's voice. You know, instead of a little fellow whispering the good nothings in their ears.
We have a question over here.
So 8 is a magic number for ladies. And to be honest, in all of my career with corrections in the DA's office, about 40 years, I've never had this many women in one spot. You know, I could do 100 guys to 8 ladies. They have lots of tentacles and things that go every which way. So 8's good, and that's a good number for the house, is 8. Yes, ma'am.
What's the process that you go for selecting the ladies that are in this program?
The first recommendations come from the district attorney's office. They give me a list of, if they don't want to send them far, far away with time, who they think might be eligible. We talk to defense attorneys that are calling me now because they know these people are almost finished, who they'd like to have come. But I also do a lot of legwork. I'll read their affidavits. I go talk to the officers that even arrested them and tell me what they think. You talk to the people at the jail because they've seen them in a different environment. You talk to the people at the penitentiaries where they've been, so you can see how they behave there. And then I physically go talk to them, tell them what this is, see if they want to do it. And it's not just I want to come to get out of prison. No, you need to want to come because you want to change. And I'll help push you that way. But I won't drag you. I will push.
When does your next class start, Dee? These ladies move out at the end of May, and then when do you start another round?
We're going to rest the month of June and raise money. Because right now I can't afford another group. We're trying to get this group finished financially. And after that, we'll work on the next crew. Yes, sir.
So your budget is about $250,000 a year. Where does the money come from?
The money comes from grants, private donations. Yes, sir.
Nothing from DOC.
No, sir.
Is that strange?
It could be. Because they're not incarcerated anymore. You know, we've modified those sentences from time to due and put them on suspended sentences. So some of the problem would be if I got money from DOC, they would want to tell me what to do with them, and I don't want to do that. That's also the same issue with me getting monies from the Department of Human Services Substance Abuse. They want to tell me how to run the program. And in my mind, in my experiences, those things don't work. So we've developed this with community partners. We have a psychiatrist, which is Dr. Evans, who works with us. We have drug court, who comes and do some of the substance abuse, and I have the Iowa tribe. So those people are concerned about helping these people, these ladies, change their lives. And so we're doing things very differently with them.
Is there a requirement for them to kind of keep in contact with you once they exit the program so that you can get the success rates for 1
Yes.
year past, 3 years, 5 years,
Yes.
10 years? Awesome.
So we'll have hands-on for a calendar year, but they've all memorized the phone number that I have. I expect to hear from them. You know, and we'll do some face-to-face contact at least twice a month for the first 6 months. And then after that, push it back to once a month. But they can always, if they have a need, we have a food pantry. We want to keep that stocked in case they need something. We'll
I
be
have
able
one
to
too,
feed them.
if they need.
Yes. Yep. But we're going to let the ladies, you know, what we're doing now is gathering this something for them so they can leave. So they'll be able to take their beds and mattresses with them. We have a box of things that are prepared for them right now. So they have bathroom supplies, towels, and some soap and some kind of stuff. And we're working on a kitchen box for them. So they'll leave with the basics. Yes, sir.
So are they originally from in-state or from out of state? And when they're released, will they stay nearby?
They're going to stay nearby because the job that they have locates them within the state. Now, and they're all native Oklahoma people. They hadn't been anywhere. Yes, sir.
How's the easiest way to donate?
We have a online PayPal deal that you can send money there. I write really nice thank you notes too. Okay.
Remind us again, Dee, what your website is.
It's info@aboutfacewomen'sprogram.org. You can come by the house. We can put the ladies out, give you a tour. Very, very proud of our location. You know, we sit on a little over 2 acres. They've also learned how to cut grass and weed eat. That's their job.
Got a question over here.
I have a question if nobody's over there.
Yes,
The-
ma'am.
I know I'm nosy.
That's okay.
The 3 ladies that are not going to complete the program, did you identify anything in their applications, their work ethic, or did you identify something that you will say, I'm not ever going to have someone again that had this thought or what? Or was it just
No, I
failure
did
on their
not.
part?
They had behavior issues that they weren't willing to give up. One of the things, you know, and they're young, I understand that. But you know, right now, you just can't have a boyfriend. You just cannot. You know, that causes you a problem because your focus changes. No boyfriends. Okay? Well, they call them baby daddies. Yeah. None of those people can be involved with you right now. You can't pick up one either. You can't find somebody over here that look good. And, no. So that was an issue. Yes, ma'am.
What a wonderful program. I noticed that everybody's white.
Yes.
Is that indicative of the population of the, I mean, I don't know, of the prison population in these counties?
Yes. Now, Amber, the one in the pink shirt,
Yeah.
and the one with the bun on top of her head is Ashley. Those two are Native American. Now, I actually looked for a person that I could see of color, but the way our code is with the city, I couldn't have anyone who had any violence in their history. And unfortunately, the ladies who had been sent to prison in the last 18 months all had, you know, choked out somebody or they couldn't come. So that is something, again, that we'll look for because we want to make it representative of the county's population.
Okay. Any other questions? Let's give Dee a round of applause for her program. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Denny has something to say, so we're all going to be real quiet.
I know you're shocked. This may be the last time I get invited to Rotary, I'm just going to say. I have to say what Dee didn't say. We are in dire need of donations to finish these women, these 5 women. If we don't get them through May, they go back to jail. That's the hard fast of it. I had to say it, I'm sorry. So think about it, and in your heart of hearts, if this is something you want to support, I ask you to do it sooner than later. And if it's something you want to support as a club, I ask you to do it sooner than later because, as she said, we're resting June to fundraise and hope we're not in this position again. But the reality is we're in this position right now. This is our GAP person.
Wow, see how that rolls downhill? So Dee has been very diligent, and the board, and we have grants. Many of the grants pay for a lot of those things that you see, right? They can pay for tuition, they can pay for supplies. We have staff. You saw that big number in our staffing. And oftentimes those grants don't like to pay staff, but it's not because we pay Dee a boatload. She's 24/7, you all. So emotional.
And she's put so much of her own money into
Yeah.
paying the light bill just to keep the light bill.
So we have staffing that's not covered. So in reality, we have a $60,000 gap that we have got to fill. We're kind of riding on fumes a little bit with how we are scheduled and just and faith. Yes, I mean God is big, and we wouldn't be sitting here talking to you off if we didn't believe that. We have a really big gap that has got to get filled. There is money in the bank, but we have to be very careful in how we spend it, right? Because we want to be responsible on the grant side. But yeah, it's a $60,000 gap that has got to get filled. And these ladies are working so hard. The USIC program, and I cannot say enough, when you see those guys and their trucks and ladies, that company has put themselves on, like, this is brand new for them. They don't have any other program like this across the country, and they're the largest line locating company in the U.S. They believe in this. They want women in the industry, and they want to be a second chance employer. And they're going to use this program to begin to model that elsewhere. So we're doing big things.
Can I ask one thing? So how do people donate?
Write a check to the About Face Women's program, get it to any of us right here, or go online. The website is aboutfacewomen'sprogram.org.
Okay, thank you. If you all want to give money, we have decided not to do table donations anymore, but you can hand it right to Rebecca.